All right, this is your final exam review packet. I am going to do a video for each page in case you need to re-see it or if you miss class. So question number 1 uses this graph, obviously, and you're asked to find the limit. Now there's 2 negative signs here. Make sure you realize that this means here we're going to -4, and this one means from the left. From down here at -infinity, there's positive infinity. So coming from -infinity, we're heading towards -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's -4. Coming from the left, we're heading towards this value right there, which is a value of -5. You're then asked to come to -4, but this time from the positive side. So we're still coming here to -4, but this time we're coming out here from infinity. So we bypass all of this graph. We jump on this graph and we are heading towards a value of -2. We don't get there, but we are heading there. Then we're asked what the limit is as we just approach -4. And this does not say from the right or the left. So that means coming from both sides simultaneously, what value are we heading towards? In order to have a limit at a particular x value, the left and right limits have to be the same. The left limit's -5, the right limit is -2. They're not the same. So there is actually no limit as we approach 4. It does not exist. Okay, as we're approaching -infinity, so now we're heading along the number line, heading left towards -infinity. And that's this portion of the graph here. It's asymptotic. This is your asymptote, and it's an asymptote of -3. So we're heading towards -3. As we approach 10, it's not saying from the left or the right, which means both sides. However, this graph, we can only see what's happening from the left as we approach 10. So that's this portion of graph right here, heading in the direction to the right. So we're heading down towards this closed value right there, which is -8. Then we're asked what happens as we approach 6. So here's 6. As we approach from the left, we're heading to 4. As we approach from the right, we're heading to -4. So those values do not match. We have a function value at 4, which is 1, but that's not the limit. The limit is what we're approaching from the left and the right, so it does not exist. But the function's value, f of 6, when x is 6, y equals 1. Okay, algebraically evaluating limits. First thing we always try to do is plug in the x value. So we're going to try to plug in x equals 5. That means we would have 5 minus 3 over 5 plus 5. No problem there. I can plug a 5 in. That leaves me a denominator of 10, a numerator of 2, which is 2/10, or 1/5. For B, you're asked to evaluate the limit as we go to 3 from the right. So algebraically, you want to be thinking about some value to the right of 3, something easy like 3.1. So if I plug in 3.1 plus 6 over 3.1 minus 3, Well, this gives me 9.1. Doesn't really matter. It's a positive number. 3.1 minus 3 gives me 0.1. Doesn't really matter. It's a positive number. You have to remember from pre-calc that you've got some sort of hyperbola here. There's an asymptote at 3, because when x equals 3, 3 minus 3 is 0. So there's a vertical asymptote at 3. You're just curious whether or not, there's my 3, my values are going towards positive infinity or negative infinity. They could go 1 to positive and 1 to negative. So to the right of x equals 3, since I got a positive over a positive, I'm heading towards positive infinity. Now, truth be told, you're going to have your calculator with you, and nothing is stopping you from using your calculator. So you can actually graph these, at least to check your work too. So x plus 6 divided by x minus 3. And I'm just going to go, let's see, zoom 4. So here's 3. Let me go to zoom 6. So here's 1, 2, 3. There's my asymptote. And from the right, I can see it going up to positive infinity. The last part is when you have your x going to either positive or negative infinity rather than another x value, this is your boobs and butt rule. Remember, if you have top heavy, there is no limit. You're heading towards infinity. Bottom heavy, you're heading to 0. And if they're equal powers, you're going to find the ratio of the coefficients. It's a to the 4th on top and a 4th on the bottom. That means 3 over 2 is your asymptote. So we're heading to 3 over 2 or 1.5. Please just call it a fraction.